Last night I plugged mine in just for that reason.
I'll call to order the council meeting for our, Thursday, October 18th. If everyone would please stand for the prayer and the pledge led by Mr. Ben Valentine.
Bow your heads. As our parish president and this council, our elected leaders and our appointed officials approach the work here tonight, may they be mindful of their role as leaders in Ascension Parish, a place of great beauty and opportunity. As leaders face the decisions they must make, may all be guided by strong ethics, sound judgment, wisdom, fairness, and carefully acquired knowledge. May our leaders never forget the trust placed in them by the people of Ascension Parish, and may they always be mindful of the less fortunate among us. Amen. Would you please say the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Sir. Roll call, Madam Secretary. All members present with the exception of Councilman Joseph. Chair's additions regarding Halloween. We need to set the hours for Halloween, so the chair would entertain a motion to set the hours on Wednesday, October 31st from 6 to 8 p.m.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Kluwat, second by Councilman Todd Lambert. Any discussion? Any objection? That motion passes. Item number 4 is a public comment sign-in reminder. If you wish to speak, please fill out a card with the secretary, and you'll have 3 minutes. And item number 5 is presentations. Parish President Martinez.
First of all, we have EA Hospital board members.
EA Hospital board members, yes, sir.
Well, as you all know, we, I guess, got the hospital now. It belongs to Ascension Parish, and you know, we had 5 very loyal board members, and tonight we have 2 that's been on there the longest that's here. But I just thought it was appropriate that we show them our appreciation at a meeting and give them a certificate of appreciation. They held on in the darkest days, and they made it a success story up until now, and they fought as long as they could fight, and then eventually, I think, did the right thing here. And I appreciate that, and I appreciate y'all time that you put in. And Ascension Parish is always going to be beholden to you, so we thank you. And I want to give you some certificates. And first of all, is Cynthia Stafford. And says, in appreciation of your hard work and dedication while serving on the EA Hospital Board, we are proud to present this certificate of appreciation. By showing your loyalty and devotion to our parish and its citizens, you have demonstrated your commitment to making Ascension Parish a greater place to live. Ms. Cynthia, and I'm going to call Mr. Gonzalez up too.
Okay.
And I have the same thing, Gene, except it has your name. And again, I really, really appreciate what the service that y'all have done. Y'all served without pay and just dedicated yourselves to this board. And I'd like to ask Cynthia and Jean if they'd like to say a few words.
Okay. I'd just like to thank President Martinez and the council for this recognition. It's greatly appreciated. Thank all of you.
Yeah, I also like to thank all of you, the council, for putting the faith in us to manage the hospital as we did. And it was a great experience, although it was challenging. But I met a lot of people on the board that wouldn't have otherwise met, and we worked through situations that made us close friends forever. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Three other board members that are not here tonight, and I'm going to ask Cynthia if she could possibly get those to them. Mr. Keith Rush. DeArmond. Okay. And Mr. Robert Hodgson.
Okay.
And
Thank you.
again, we appreciate, again, and sorry, we, Mr.
I think these are kind of weighing me down.
October 27th as Make a Difference Day in Ascension Parish. Whereas connecting with others and working together through volunteer service can bridge the differences that separate people and help solve serious social problems in our society. Whereas millions of Americans committed to engage in volunteer projects on this appointed day last year. Whereas we as Americans have a tradition of philanthropy and volunteerism no better displayed anywhere than by the people of Ascension Parish. Whereas USA Weekend Magazine, along with the Points of Life Institute and its affiliated organizations, including Volunteer Ascension, have joined to promote the spirit of volunteerism through a National Day of Doing Good. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed, I, Tommy Martinez, President of the Parish of Ascension, State of Louisiana, by virtue of the authority invested in me, do hereby proclaim October 27, 2012, as Make a Difference Day in Ascension Parish, and urge my fellow citizens to participate in activities to benefit their community.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. I just want to thank Parish President Tommy Martinez and the councilmen for all of this, and councilwomen. What we'd like to do is encourage all of our fellow citizens to get out and make a difference, find a community project, and make a difference in the community. There is a community project that will be held on October the 27th at the new Respite Center on Papera, and most of the Ascension Parish Rotary will be attending. We will be planting plants and planting trees to make a difference in the community. We thank y'all very much.
And Sherry, you do a great job in the community because I see you at all sorts of events, and especially Santa Monica events.
Yes,
So
sir.
you do a great job, and we thank you
Thank you. I
personally.
appreciate y'all very much. Thank you.
Okay, next we have the posthumous recognition of Corporal Joseph W. Fontenot, U.S. Army, L Company, 38th Regiment, 2nd Infantry Division, POW, MIA, Korean War, repatriated to his surviving family members. I'm going to ask Henry to come up, and family member, please. This is something that we've never done here before that I can recall, and I'm going to ask the Vietnam vets also to come up, please. Well, no, all the vets here. So. Good. But anyway, the remains in Korea were found 40 years later. I think it's been missing 60 years later, and you know, it's something that I guess brings closure to this, and I know the vets, all the vets, you know, we always pray for and do what we can for the MIAs and their families, and you know, this is just a closure to a story. I can't say a wonderful story, but it's good that we at least can bring his remains back and give him a decent burial on his home ground that he fought so hard for. And I would just say that we're proud of him and what he did for our country, and we're proud that he's a native of Ascension Parish, and we're glad to get him back, even though it's the remains. So, Henry?
From what I understand, the Army is going to provide full military services. Date is yet to be determined. Funeral arrangements have not been finalized, but they're supposed to the Army is supposed to be meeting with the funeral home tomorrow, and there'll be like I said, a full military funeral. I'm not sure where. Do you know where it's going to be at? What funeral or what cemetery?
Oh, it's in Whitehall.
In Whitehall.
Whitehall.
Okay.
The services will be at Orso here, and then
Yes.
interment at Whitehall Community Center.
All I want to say is he was my brother-in-law. I wasn't married to my husband then, but my husband always spoke of him. And my mother-in-law, she always waited for the day that she would find out something about her son. And she really got scared whenever my husband was drafted and went into the service. But he came back okay. And I just lost my husband in January. And I know he would be so proud of all what y'all are doing tonight for his brother. And I want to thank all of y'all for it. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, and Veterans Day is coming up, and hopefully we can acknowledge, and yes, and that's going to be November 11th, 11 o'clock, the 11th day of the 11th hour, at the 11th hour. And after the service, we're going to have a parade, a Veterans Day parade. It's going to start at 2. And when the parade's over, there's going to be several organizations out and booths. So it'll be a good time for kids and to get out and so we can remember our veterans. And it's going to conclude with a visit candlelight service at 6 o'clock. 7. At 7. So we want to encourage everyone to please try to go out and remember our veterans. You know, they gave up a lot so we could do this, so we could meet and we could be free. And you know, we appreciate all you guys do in the community. Also, when you cease to be being soldiers and became veterans, you continue doing the work here in the community, and you do a great job. And we're just proud of all of you, and we thank you for all of your service. You didn't quit serving once you got out of the military, so we appreciate it.
Quite welcome.
Okay, Madam Secretary, let the record reflect that Councilman Joseph has arrived. Item number 6 is our parish president's report. Mr. President.
The only thing is I just want to remind all the citizens that the early voting starts October 23rd, ends October 30th, and it'll be from 8:30 to 6 p.m. Each day. So it'll be for a 7-day period. So I encourage everyone to get out and vote. No matter who you vote for or what you vote for, please go out and vote.
Okay, thank you. The chair would entertain a motion to move the consent agenda. Motion by Councilman Kluwat, second by Councilwoman Cazzo. Is there any objection? Consent agenda is adopted. Item number 8 is our committee appointments. Councilman Todd Lambert.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We met this month. We had quite a few boards that needed appointments to various boards. We'll start off with the Ascension Parish Human Resources Review Board. We'll start off with Teresa Clack, which she was a reappointment. So moved.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Shakespeare, a second by Councilman Joseph. Is there any objections? That motion passes.
Second and same board was Paul Goodwin, another reappointment.
Motion by Councilman Dempsey Lambert, second by Councilman Johnson. Any discussion? Any objections? Motion passes.
Same board, we had Mr. Troy LaBeouf, which would be a new appointment.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Joseph,
Second.
second by Councilman Johnson. Any discussion? Any objection? That motion passes.
One more on the same board is Mr. Patrick Larson for a reappointment.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Turner, second by Councilman Johnson. Discussion? Any objections? Motion passes.
Second, we had the Capital Area Conservation Council First appointment, both of these are reappointments. First one was Mr. Frank Frederick.
Second. Motion by Councilman Kluwat, second by Councilman Johnson. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion passes.
And the next one was Mr. Jason Petrie, also a reappointment. Same board. So moved.
Motion by Councilman Johnson, second by Councilman Kluwat. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion passes.
We'll move on to Ascension Parish Tourism Commission. We had Mr. Justin Newhart. It's a new appointment.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Turner, second by Councilman Johnson. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion passes.
Also had Ms. Uli Lejeune for a reappointment. So moved.
Motion by Councilman Schexnayder, second by Councilman Kluwat. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion passes.
Also, Mr. John Marchand, another reappointment. So tourism.
Motion by Councilman Schexnayder, second by Councilman Kluwat. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion passes.
Next board, we had two appointments, Ascension Parish Communication District. First was Robin Brunke, reappointment.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Johnson,
Second.
second by Councilman Schexnayder. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion passes.
Next was Mr. Chuck Montero for a
Motion.
reappointment.
Okay, motion by Councilman Johnson, second by Councilwoman Cazo. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion passes.
Last, Ascension Parish Board of Residential Contractors, Mr. Roy Domain, reappointment.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Dempsey Lambert, second by Councilwoman Cazo. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion passes.
That's the end
Okay.
report, Mr.
Thank you,
Chairman.
Councilman Lambert. Item number 9 is a resolution to authorize Ascension Counseling Center as a certified Medicaid application center. Ms. Suzanne Hamilton.
Good evening, Chairman Lohr, council members, and President Martinez. What you have before you is an authorization to authorize us as a certified Medicaid application center. The reason we're asking for this is due to state Medicaid changes. State requires that anyone receiving services for mental health or substance use disorders who receives state funds must apply for Medicaid, whether we know they're going to qualify for it or not. Currently, the process to apply for Medicaid is that the application can be completed online, but the individual must then drive to Baton Rouge to their Medicaid office, bring original documents, and let them be viewed by a staff member of Medicaid. Right now, we can help people apply for Medicaid. They can do it at home, or they can do it in our offices, but they still must take their original documents to Baton Rouge. By making us a certified Medicaid application center, our staff will be able to view their original documents and certify for Medicaid that we have viewed them and that they're appropriate, so that our people who come to our office can apply. When they come for their initial appointment, we don't have to send them out to Baton Rouge or another location to complete the process. So this will make things easier for anyone who applies to our program. And then also, in addition, as a department of Parish of Ascension, we want to provide this service to all Ascension Parish residents. So we have applied not only to provide this service to our clients, anyone who applies for services, but we'll be able to provide this service to any Ascension Parish resident, whether they come to us for services or not. In addition, we have both our Gonzales and our Donaldsonville clinics approved, and there are no certified medication application centers in Donaldsonville, so Donaldsonville residents will be able to come to us for that service. So we just need your authorization to be able to proceed with that.
A motion by Councilman Kluwat, a second by Councilwoman Cazo. Any discussion? Any objection? Discussion, Councilman
Mr.
Tyler?
Chairman, not on this.
Okay.
I want to come back up a little bit on the
Okay.
personnel when you finish.
Any objection? Motion passes.
Thank you.
We approved Mr. John Marchand, but it was for the West Ascension Hospital Board, not the tourism. I want to make that note.
Okay.
That was
We'll do a motion to reconsider that then.
Okay.
And
Move to reconsider.
motion by Councilman Schexnayder to reconsider, second by Councilwoman Cazo. Any objection to reconsider? None. Councilman Todd Lambert, would you go ahead and
Move
like to
to-
make a motion to rectify
Yeah.
that?
Move to appoint John as the hospital
Okay.
board.
good.
Motion by Councilman Schexnayder, second by Councilman Johnson. Any objection? None. Motion passes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. All right, item number 10 is our revised recommendations for Project Habicorn. Mr. Mike Eads.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and members of council. You recall back in June, we came before you with a recommendation of the Ascension Economic Development Corporation Board to offer an incentive, a sales and use tax rebate incentive to this project. Pleased to report to you that since that time, the numbers have changed quite substantially. And I'll just give you a little recap. Your original investment profile was $1.2 billion, and I did say billion, dollars, and that has now gone to $2.24 billion. The employment, the new jobs, this is direct new jobs, doesn't include contractors, originally was 55, and now it's 93. The annual payroll was 3.2 million and is now projected at 5.3 million. Total parish-wide tax revenues, meaning both ad valorem for inventory and other items that are not exempt, plus sales taxes. This is net of the suggested incentive, by the way. Originally 27.9 million, new number 44.8. If you look solely at your 1 cent sales tax district, the original number, and again this is net of the incentive, over the first 10 years was $5.1 million. The new number is 7.7. The recommendation is for approval to rebate 0.45 cents of your 1 cent to the project. That original amount would have been 2.3 million. It is now 4.327 million. In addition, that recommendation, as you recall, contains the subsidiary recommendation that an additional 0.05 cents be earmarked and placed in the Ascension Economic Development Fund. And that is the summary of the recommendation of my board.
Okay, I got a motion by Councilman Kluwat and a second by Councilwoman Cazo to approve the recommendations as stated by Mr. Eads, which, to clarify, is a rebate 0.45 cents of the 1 cent and an additional 0.05 cents to go to the Economic Development Fund. Is that accurate?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Discussion. Any discussion? Mr. President?
Make sure you said an additional 0.05%, but I think it's the same 0.05%.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yes.
Thought I was going to slip that in.
Any discussion? Councilwoman Cazo.
Only to take the opportunity to thank you, Mike, for all the work that your office is doing. You are doing yeoman's work, and it is obviously bringing us some great results. So thank you very much on behalf of my constituents.
Well, thank you, ma'am, very much on behalf of the board and our staff, but I would like to give credit where credit's due. It's you all who set the business climate in this parish, and we thank you for making it good and keeping it good. Thank you.
Very good. Any objections on the motion? Hearing none, motion passes. Thank you, sir. Item number 11 in our introduction of ordinance section. An ordinance to supplement the ordinance adopted September 6, 2012 to complete the acquisition and sale of parcels of immovable property owned by Ascension Parish government located at LA 42 and LA 73 for the LA Highway 42 road widening. And a motion to introduce.
So moved.
Motion by Councilman Dempsey Lambert, second by Councilman Benny Johnson. Any objection? Ordinance is introduced. Item number 12 is an ordinance amending the 2012 budget and adopting the 2013 budget.
So moved.
Motion by Councilman Todd Lambert. Second by Councilman Kluwat. Any objection? Ordinance is introduced. Item number 13 is an ordinance to revoke and set aside a dedication of a 60-foot wide piece of property designated as Small Road on the attached plat instrument number 557223 and declare the road as abandoned. Motion introduced by Councilman Kluwat, second by Councilman Dempsey Lambert. Any objection? Ordinance is introduced. And item number 14 is an ordinance to revoke the existing 10-foot drainage servitude with the creation of a new 10-foot drainage servitude along the west property line of Lot 18-A of Ashley Oaks subdivision. Motion by Councilman Kluwat, second by Councilman Satterley. Any objection? Ordinance is introduced.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn by Councilman Todd Lambert. Second by Councilman Johnson. We are adjourned.
This is good.